much. Let's talk now to Olivier Guittet, Managing Director of international security firm Global Strat. Welcome to the programme. Thank you for being with us on BBC News. What do you make of this morning's incident?
Look, the first thing that we can say is that people in Paris are very lucky that there wasn't a massacre at the airport, because when you think about it, it was a very amateurish way of attack, because from what I understand, the perpetrator had a gun that he used against police earlier in the day. So he could have used that gun while walking into Orly's airport and target civilians. In that instance, he tried to attack a soldier and steal a gun. So I think that I agree with the previous report that in this case it's pretty amateurish, and I'm not even sure it was premeditated.
So it may have been simply a spontaneous reaction to that stop and his overreaction to the attempted identity check. But how would you characterise the mood in France at the moment, given that people have been living really with this state of emergency now for months and months? They've had two major incidents. We've got the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge visiting Paris today and actually meeting victims of two of those most appalling incidents. How have people adapted to that, and how have the security services adapted to this, what one would call the new reality of France today?
Look, a couple of things. I was at Orly Airport myself just last week, and I spent a few days in Paris meeting with a lot of people from my field, and it's a little bit of a way of dealing with it, because they know that now 10,000 soldiers are patrolling the street, that in a way their freedoms have been a little curtailed because of the state of emergency. So people are dealing with it. But I would point out that unfortunately security services are at the max of their possibilities, whether physical or the analytical part. And when you know that there are 15,000 people on that terror watch list, and that security services need about 36 officers just to track and monitor one person, you can imagine that the task at hand is huge and that they have to make choices. So unfortunately, some are going to slip by, and that's the main issue. People are aware that there'll be successful terror attacks in the next few months.
And how much additional pressure will the presidential election put on the police and the other security forces?
I think it's a major factor. I would put to you that until the first round at the end of April, people are really on the lookout and concerned about further terror attacks, because some Islamic State followers have made a case that they should try to do what Al-Qaeda did in Madrid in 2004 to influence the election, so to have attacks before the first round. So that's pretty much in the minds of a lot of people as well.
Olivier Guittet, Managing Director of Global Strat, thanks very much for being with us on BBC News.